Hi, I'm Abby Steinauer, and I'm the artist behind Egg and Bee Comics, and this is Draw My Life. So I was adopted from the northern part of Vietnam. That's supposed to be an outline of Vietnam. Doesn't look like it. But I was adopted by my dad, who had a mustache in the 90s, regrettably, and my mom, who's a teacher. She's been a teacher forever, and she's getting her doctorate now. And my older brother, Corbin, with the glasses you see there. We're a very blue family. We wear a lot of blue, so I'm going to draw us like that. I grew up in Carlisle in central Pennsylvania with my family. It was a really good childhood besides my problematic older brother. It was a really good childhood. I'm grateful for where I grew up. I was raised pretty Catholic. I went to Catholic school for a while. Looking back, it was really weird, but while I was there, it was fine. We had uniforms. That sucked. But whatever. I played basketball. I was really good at basketball, but I wound up hating it because I got put on the middle school team. At the end of my third grade year, my dad got a job offer, so we had to move. Back then, I really was into science. I was such a nerd. So we moved from Carlisle, Pennsylvania to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, where I started going to public school, which was cool. It was fine, nothing to report. I had 2 dogs then, Otis and Mulligan. I was obsessed with dogs. My life was pretty normal at this point, besides my problematic brother, who again we're not going to talk about. So I guess we should rewind a little bit and talk about my history with art. I pretty much started doing art from the moment that I could hold a crayon. That's a crayon, not a bottle of hot sauce. When I was little, I was really weird. I like to draw people naked. I don't know why. What the fuck. So as I got older, I became known as that girl who was good at drawing in the class, who went way too hard in every project. I learned how to draw objects in perspective from a very young age. So when I was like 6 years old, I was drawing architectural structures, and I wanted to be an architect or like a spy maybe. I don't really know what I was thinking. I still don't really know. Some of my creativity at an early age can be seen by my obsession with Legos. I played with them all the time. I was the weird girl who played with Legos at recess with the boys. As I got older, I kind of moved away from the arts to do sports. I was very good at lacrosse. I was actually very good at the violin, but I hated it so much. I became good at running. I ran cross country all throughout middle school and high school. Middle school was weird, to say the least, but it was okay. I kind of peaked in middle school. I got like straight A's. I won like every single award. I was captain of the lacrosse team. I don't know, it was fun. I was awkward, but it was fine. Like every girl in middle school, I struggled with my image, but it was mostly because other people saw me as different from them because of my race, but I didn't see myself as different from them. People on the school bus would like yell racial slurs at me, and it made me really uncomfortable because I had never experienced that before. Like, all my friends were white, my family was white, so like I didn't really see myself as any different from them. In middle school, I got this national art award, the Scholastic Art Award, so I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was the shit. And then I got to high school and I realized I wasn't the shit. And everyone thinks that high school is this awful place with like jocks and cliques and stuff, but I didn't really have that kind of experience. I thought it was fine. In high school, I started to replace my love of arts and music with a focus more on sports. I was really into running and lacrosse. I was really, really good at lacrosse, and I wanted to play lacrosse at Yale and major in fine arts there. But I started to hate lacrosse because my coach was pretty abusive towards me. That kind of killed my dream of going to Yale. I wouldn't have gotten in anyways, I don't know what I was thinking. So I started really getting into running, which I was also pretty good at. Running is how I met my first serious boyfriend, Nate. We met at cross country camp the summer before our senior years. He now runs Division I cross country at Lafayette College. We broke up before our freshman year of college, kind of right before prom, because me in Boston and him in Pennsylvania just wouldn't have worked out with the distance. My dog Mosey doesn't like him. I dated other people in between then, but since I decided to transfer to Temple, it was more reasonable that we could be together, so we got back together this summer. On a sort of unrelated note, but I thought it was important to throw this in there, I've worked at a lot of different places throughout my life. My first job was at Aeropostale, which was full of cool people. I worked at my city's newspaper, worked at a rec center teaching lacrosse. My worst experience was probably Wise Markets. That was by far the worst experience. I worked at an autistic support classroom during my gap semester. So back to the running thing, I became pretty good at running in high school. I got cross-country captain, and I got a few offers from different colleges to run for their teams, but I didn't really like them. And then I found Bentley University, which is a small business school right outside of Boston, and I immediately fell in love with it. The only downfall was that it was very, very, very expensive, which is one of the reasons that I had to leave. I loved it at first. I think I got caught up in the whole college experience, being away from home and having freedom, so I thought I liked it. But everyone there was just like very into money and like cared about things that really weren't that important to me. So I was running on their cross country and track team, but I was miserable and I really didn't know why. One day in psychology class, my professor said to us how most of us chose Bentley University and to take the business path because the business path is a very secure path, and we're going to have money when we graduate, but it won't necessarily mean that we're happy, and we won't be happy unless we're actively pursuing our passions. And I realized that's why I wasn't happy at Bentley, was because I didn't have the ability to actively pursue my passions. So I applied to withdraw from university without having a plan of what I was going to do next. All I really knew was that I didn't want to be there anymore, and I didn't want to waste money being there. So I left without having a clear plan of what next, and this was a really scary time for me. I didn't know what my passions were. I just knew that they weren't at Bentley. And then I realized it was really obvious. It was art. That's what I wanted to do. I don't know how I didn't think of that before. I really only applied to one school, and that was Tyler at Temple University. It's one of the best art schools in the nation, and it's very cheap and close to home, so it was perfect. It was the summer right before I left for Tyler that I started Egg and Bee. Megan and I had met through a mutual friend on a beach trip, and we've pretty much been best friends ever since. I'm pretty sure that everyone thinks that their best friend is the funniest person in the entire world, and the same goes with me and Megan, and I just wanted to publish something that showcases the dynamics behind a modern female friendship. The series had really taken off when I finally got to leave for Temple University. I'm really happy. I'm looking forward to my future as a graphic designer, and I'm very passionate about what I'm doing now. Megan and I are, of course, still very good friends. We're still best friends, but nowadays my main inspirations for comics come from my hilarious friends. And everyone says that their friends are hilarious, but I just have the privilege of showing the world just how great they are. And they give me inspiration every day. They're so supportive and I love them so much. I almost forgot Carly, but she's just super tall, so it works out that she's back there. So that's pretty much it. I'm very grateful for where I am now and how far the comic series has gotten. Not many people have this sort of opportunity, and I'm just very grateful for my followers and everyone who's helped me get where I am now. And I have big plans for this. I have big plans for the comic and for my future. So thanks for watching.